I literally messaged my friend Ian, what in the unhinged psychedelic nonsense fuck did I just watch? Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Frame by Frame, starring this guy right here, Christopher Not Nolan. The show where cinema isn't just watched, it's interrogated like an episode of Law and Order. Today, I will tackle a few new reviews to kick off 2026 and to see if the runtime justifies its impact. Now, before y'all tag along for the ride, make sure you have your friends join this group chat by liking and subscribing, because we're here for cinematic input at all different angles. Written, edited, produced, and directed by moi. Let's begin. I go off with the first film. On the surface, it feels familiar. Not comfortably, though. Switch out the dog with the primate and add on some more gore. We go from Cujo to literally primate. Although, contrary to popular belief, primates can swim. Vary from different species, of course. Primate was released on January 9th, 2026 to 79% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, with box office receipts to 31 million with a reported budget of 21 to 24 million. It knows not to go over its runtime at 89 minutes. We like it when it goes straight to the point. It's fast paced, it's intense, and it is indeed graphic. So, for those who faint easily or not prone to graphic violence, you've been warned. And what's even scarier is how accurate some of these deaths were. Monkeys, apes, and primates have incredible strength while being vastly intelligent. We've heard horror stories, well, at least I have, about pet monkeys and apes that leave permanent damage or even death to the owners or caretakers, so you don't want to fuck with them. For the creature feature genre, we can now add Ben the primate on top of Jaws, Cujo, and much more creatures. He is effectively creepy and obviously the standout memorable character. I wish he hadn't gotten bit since he was friendly and he was playful. Man, that kind of broke my heart a little bit. When I heard this movie had a lot of gore, I prepared myself for it, but oh boy, was I in for some high quality gore. It had me like flinching in my seat, and there was a one death that made me feel some type of way, but I'm gonna let y'all figure that out. Some of the kills were a bit over the top, though, that kind of resembled B movie type, especially the one that went over the cliff. The scares to me in this movie were well done. It doesn't rely on music for any of that, just a quiet environment when the characters are walking around. And I personally enjoy that in a horror film. It had me on the edge of my seat, especially when the girls are hiding in the closet from Ben. Yeah, I have seen stuff like that before, but there was just something so intense about this particular movie where that happened. Oof, I was literally just like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Some of the choices that were done in this movie, not smart at all. And I target that more towards the writing. I mean, come on, it's common sense. Don't try to push a primate off the cliff. Don't shout if there's an empty looking house that you're walking in. Don't tell someone else, oh, she'll be fine, when clearly she won't. These decisions were cringe as fuck. And to top it off, while this movie fulfills the scares, it's not going to break new ground in the creature feature genre. Bottom line, it is good if you want some creature gore, but not if you're looking for some original storytelling and some psychological depth. I give this a mango grading of a solid 7. It left a bit of an impression on me. Sure, let's just have a primate as a pet. What could possibly go wrong? Hashtag living with chaos. Mm-mm. Just when you think that you could just breathe, sit back, and then maybe have a cup of coffee or some boba tea, nope. We're pulled straight into film number two's thrilling direction, Dead Man's Wire, directed by Gus Van Sant. It's like 2026 decided to begin our year with nightmares, based on the true story of the 1977 hostage standoff starring Bill Skarsgård, Dacre Montgomery, with an ensemble cast including Coleman Domingo and Al Pacino. Dead Man's Wire was released on January 9th, 2026 to 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, with box office receipts of only $2 million with a reported budget of under 15 million. Skarsgård's performance shows he's more than just a creature actor. From Pennywise to Nosferatu to now a kidnapper, he provides a wide range and brings a lot of emotional depth to this character who's in financial woes, and he goes on to take extreme, desperate measures to justify it. And it feels very real when you're watching it happen on screen. He is a great actor, brings you in to feel for his mental health, his range of emotional states of mind. He deserves all of the acclaim with this chilling portrayal. The ensemble cast, oh, they all knew what they signed up for, and I was here for it, except for Al Pacino, which I will explain in a bit. The movie authentically creates the 1970s aesthetic to the T with every detail, which caught my attention right away from the very beginning. I literally thought that I time traveled for some time when they used a particular snapshot of the 70s filter during certain scenes that happened, and that enhanced that appeal greatly. How it also manages to touch on issues like systemic justice and economic frustration with the everyday person. Oh, how it brings that attention to everybody, but it just doesn't shove it in your face. It brings it about that it's casual, that it does happen to all of us, and it's not new to our faces. I personally enjoy that part. Now, despite the tense environment, it's not your conventional thriller that you may be used to seeing. They decided to go for the quiet approach instead of the emotional impact or the dramatic editing, and that it just results into leaving you not as invested. The middle section of a movie can be challenging sometimes, and with this movie running at 105 minutes, it could leave a lagging impression, even though it's a 63-hour standoff. Yeah, 63 hours. And they had to keep it all interesting. The tone felt a bit uneven when it tried to go for some humor while in a dramatic and intense event. Yeah, that didn't really land with me, in my opinion. Now, let's get to Al Pacino. Phenomenal is an understatement to the man of his talent. He is a living legend with an unforgettable filmography. And the thing is, when it comes to having a cameo, if well written, it could be the cherry on top of a movie. His performance, to me, I felt that it was underwhelming. It was like the way they wrote his character, because he didn't provide that much to the narrative. I bet you that he only shot his part maybe in one day. Now, this is Al Pacino that we're talking about. Like, he wasn't horrible by any means. I just wish that there was more effort from his character to just land it with us. And knowing Al Pacino's range and talent, that's why it was underwhelming for me. Now, to count it down, this film can divide some moviegoers depending on what y'all are looking for. I grade this a 7.5 with a mango rating. Because at the end of the day, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but it stayed in its lane. And honestly, I get it. Now listen, I say this with love. This is not background noise cinema. I can tell when you're distracted and you are tempted to scroll through your phone or to put me on pause so you can watch it later. Mm-mm, don't do it. I know you're going to forget. Now, go and stretch, go get a cup of coffee, and maybe cook some food. But still hear this podcast. I have some great input from my good friend Ian, who has very similar taste in movies, and he basically knows his shit with movies. Now, where is he, you may ask? Yo, I couldn't get him on camera because he's being all camera ninja, despite my efforts. Now, I went ahead and asked him to provide me an anecdote in relation to a movie, and here's what he said. I was called Peter Parker when I was a kid due to my short haircut, and it was because of the early comics look that he had. My friend was like, "You know the early comics?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" Then I took a look at it, and it's funny how I do see it. Yep, y'all. I saw the picture and it's accurate. No worries, y'all. He's got long hair now to his shoulders that's giving a Christian Bale type of look, but with lighter brown hair. You can go ahead and do your research. Anyway, I also asked him what movie shaped him to be the person that he is today. And y'all, his answer fascinated me. Check it out. I had to really ponder around my answer. And to be honest, I would have to say Star Wars Revenge of the Sith because it's Anakin's struggle with right and wrong and how he's trying to do what he thinks is right, but it's actually wrong. It literally helped me to realize stop gaslighting yourself because I'm the kind of person that is like, no, it's right. But it inspired me to go deeper in my thoughts, so I'm just not taking it at the surface level. It was also very heavy in reminding me to not be greedy because at the end, Anakin was just greedy. To be honest, he's not wrong, y'all. and the depth of his answer was very inquisitive. Maybe even though people want him here, I will do better efforts to convince him to be here. Maybe he'll change his mind later. And he actually liked this next film, which is a rare event for us to disagree on a movie. Transitioning from the 70s to the apocalypse in different viewpoints of suffering, we have 28 years later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta. Leading the film with Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, and Alfie Williams, it was released on January 13, 2026, to 93% on Rotten Tomatoes with a $63 million reported budget, and it has so far grossed 45 million as of right now. The set design continues to bring that horror setting well with the nature colors, the isolation, which makes sense because they did film this movie back to back with last year's film. The angles from the director, oh, it provided great insight to this world in creative choices that are visually appealing. I'm always a big fan of seeing new, imaginative, fresh choices to capture the mood, and the director did not disappoint here. She did a great job with this. The performances, as to be expected, do not let us down. Jack O'Connell actually stood out to me with his wild, twisted take of Jimmy and how he embraces the present situation with his more or less to say lack of sanity. Yes. Creatively speaking, the atmosphere, it does a lot of the heavy lifting. I found the pacing to be uneven. It dragged in most moments that it didn't flow seamlessly. Now, my main issue was the writing. I mean, budding with the infected, being in a one-way therapy session, that felt lunacy to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sanity is questionable to be in an apocalyptic scenario, but to that, no. And by the way, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, the gratuitous nudity. It did not serve any purpose to me at all for this movie, and last year's movie as well. I know in horror movies, that is a repetitive plot device, and that's got to stop. I know in then American cinema, nudity is often heavily sexualized, restricted, or treated as shocking. I'm also aware that European cinema generally treats nudity as a natural part of human life and storytelling. So maybe that was the influence when you think about it. Particularly the art house. European cinema often uses nudity to represent authenticity, vulnerability, or raw humanity rather than solely for titillation. So if that was the case, I could see it, but then doing more art horror than panic horror shows that we lose the raw urgency that made 28 Days Later very iconic. I kept asking myself in the movie theater, where is the story here? There's no tension, not even where it needed to land, in my opinion. I didn't feel as invested as I should have been. And yo, don't even get me started on the cringe Iron Maiden psychedelic scene. I never want to watch that scene again. It's no longer the franchise that I grew up watching. It felt less apocalyptic and more music video detour. That scene just wanted to be iconic so bad, yet it ended up being very out of place. I literally messaged my friend Ian, what in the unhinged psychedelic nonsense fuck did I just watch? So overall, the Bone Temple had a plethora of bones, but no backbone. I grade this rotten with a mango grading of a 3. Now, do me a favor, bring back the ingredients that made the first two movies memorable, because this film will just age like the leftovers that you forgot that are in the back of the fridge. After escaping what felt like film purgatory, I pressed play on this final film, and I was clearly entertained with the dynamic duo returning again due to their newest crime thriller, The Rip. Starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon as officers in the Miami Narcotics Unit, supported by a talented ensemble cast, including Tiana Taylor, Stephen Yin, and Kyle Chandler. The Rip was released on Netflix on January 16, 2026, to 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, one movie tried to be deep, this one tried to be entertaining, and it clearly won. Now, just by hearing these two names in a project together, you know that you're not going to be disappointed. Set in Miami, obviously, The Rip tells the story of a group of police officers who, during a raid on a hidden cash operation, find their trust questioned as they suspect each other of trying to steal a large sum of cash while the clock is ticking. The chemistry with this cast is very strong. It feels very real, elevating every scene from the beginning to the end that just goes beyond the typical cop thriller banter. I was hooked from the jump, and that begins beginning scene, oh, it sets the tone. Obviously, it's not Recess because that scene did not come to play. The camaraderie is cohesive, and when they go into the gritty atmosphere where a lot of this action is about to ensue, oof, this is where you build the tension for what's to come. It just keeps you guessing, it delivered on the suspense, and it literally had me thinking, what are these characters going to do? They did not shy away from the action, and I will say, this is my favorite movie released this month. It may feel a little familiar, like the suspense from Training Day, but it's still very enjoyable. Sure, logic may be questionable to count millions of what they discovered in a certain time frame, but who's going to question 100% realism to come from a movie? We know what to look for when it comes to entertainment with at least a good portion of realism. The writing has some flaws with some of the character development, not gonna lie, which did not help to build up its true potential, but they do provide clever twists that do keep us engaged, like a puzzle to piece it all together. Now, pay attention to the small details, by the way, because as you're watching on, that's where the clever twists come into play towards the very end. The rip, I will admit, it's not revolutionary, but it is reliably entertaining. The kind of mix where you might not post about it on TikTok repeatedly, like Wicked or Sinners, but you will not regret the watch. Suspense? Check. Performances? Definitely check. The entertainment factor? Oh, off the charts. Graded with my mango grading of an 8 for me. Consider this your permission to go press play ASAP and go along with the thrills. Oh, did you think the conversation stopped here? Hell no. Now you are about to come find out what Hollywood is up to with my next segment, The Real Talk. New trailers are out now for some of the following movies. Ready or not, here I come. I was not prepared for seeing Buffy the Vampire Slayer being a part of this game. Crime 101, where you have Hulk, Thor, and Storm in a high stakes crime movie. We also got a new teaser from The Odyssey, where we surprisingly got a Travis Scott cameo in it. Talk about Homer's epic that is now Coachella adjacent. Go ahead and check out all of these trailers out on YouTube and then see what your thoughts are at. A big, huge congratulations to Rachel McAdams on her latest accomplishment with receiving her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She has delivered an impressive filmography with her career and will continue to do so even after this. I mean, yo, look at her work. The Hot Chick, Mean Girls, The Notebook, The Family Stone, Red Eye, which is one of my personal favorites at first, State of Play, All About Time, The Vow, Doctor Strange, Spotlight, Game Night. What can I say? Memorizing actors' IMDb pages and seeing their careers pivot is a sport to me. Talk about an unproblematic, iconic actress who's now immortalized on Hollywood Boulevard. Period. Now, on the opposite side, Sydney Sweeney recently got caught vandalizing the Hollywood sign and may face possible charges. There is video of her that is proven to be not AI, y'all, that shows her and a group of other people vandalizing the Hollywood sign with, get this, bras. Yep, y'all heard that correctly. Literally, bra lines. The Chamber of Commerce commented there was no permission granted to do this ahead of time. First of all, this quote is sending me through the roof. What proper permission do you need to vandalize a memorable sign, a landmark, with bras? Is she promoting a bra line or something? I don't know. I mean, the fact that Hollywood has objectified Sydney Sweeney with her chest in Euphoria, the ad campaigns, like with American Eagle, and the latest movies that she has, like she's building that up with Anyone But You, Christy, Eden, the latest movie, The Housemaid. And yet she goes and does this? Wow. I'm actually curious to see how all of this will unravel. I'm not on board with the Sydney Sweeney hate train because that's just too much. She has a promising career ahead of her, and I like her work. Cynthia Erivo is being eyed to play the role of Storm in the new X-Men movie. That is interesting. I mean, she already knows how to fly a broom, so I say that she is more than qualified to levitate with the wind. What are y'all's thoughts? And finally, the Oscar nominations. Yup, they finally got it right, with Sinners being the most nominated film of all time. I know that's right. That it better be granted Best Picture and other major awards at least. I'm casting my vote right there. They also got it right with Timothée Chalamet's third nomination, Jacob Elordi's first nomination, My vote goes to him as well for Best Supporting Actor. Frankenstein's numerous nominations as well, plus Elle Fanning's first nomination. I'm actually surprised that Dakota has not even been nominated given her extensive career or hasn't even won an Oscar by now. Either way, congrats to Elle Fanning, and then K-pop Demon Hunters and Best Animated Feature, and a lot more. Yeah. In a previous episode, I stated Frankenstein as my second favorite film of 2025, so I am just thrilled when I heard all of these nominations for the costumes, the set design, the production. Frankenstein deserved all of the nominations. Now, my surprises for some of those that got snubbed, here is the following. No nominations for Wicked for Good? Honestly, that shocked me. Even though it wasn't better than the first, it at least deserves some nominations in the costume, the set design, at the very least. Now, I thought that Ariana and Cynthia were guaranteed get their nominations because of last year. What a curveball when I found that out. Although I did hear that Oscar voters found their press campaign relationship very creepy. Now, here's my take. This has nothing to do with their performances within the movie. So I found that to be weird reasoning, in my opinion. Also, no nomination for Paul Mescal in Hamnet or Jesse Plemons in Bugonia. No nomination for Guillermo del Toro as Best Director for Frankenstein. Come on now. Also, no nomination for Haley Steinfeld in Sinners. She was a highlight of that movie. Like TikToks and Instagram reels were all about her memorable lines. I am surprised that she did not get a nomination there. Avatar Fire and Ash didn't sweep the nominations. I mean, this was just all very surprising to me. Every year, yes, there's always surprises and there's snubs. So, I mean, that surprised me. So, out of the list, what surprised you and who are you voting for? So, spill it in the comments. All right, everybody, let's loosen up a bit and step away from the polished narratives because this segment is all about the stories that do not make the final cut. Like Justice League, and we get the Snyder cut, the way better version, in my opinion, and nothing is rehearsed except maybe this intro. This is Off Script Stories. Today, I'm joined by a very fun guest, someone who brings great energy, strong opinions, and absolutely zero fear of telling it like it is. She's a singer-songwriter where, fun fact, she is the first musician to had to be on this podcast, and she is making her podcast debut. So make sure you give her a warm welcome. All right. You can hear her newest single, Warning Signs, wherever you literally hear music on all the streaming platforms. So go in and take a listen. Introducing Madu, like Erica Badu.
Hi, hello.
I
Nice.
do.
Hi.
Thank you
I'm-
so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to finally be on.
Oh, I know. After all of this time, it is great to finally have you here. And then why don't you go in and tell everybody about like how you get started with singing and how you were able to like be in this part of entertainment?
Yes, so I've been singing literally my whole life. I like to say that I popped out with a mic in my hand. Um, but singing is my therapy. It's everything to me. I'm one of those annoying people that sing their sentences. But all my friends love me for it. And how I got into this sector of the entertainment business, I figured, my voice can pay me. Like my voice can literally make me money. So why don't I start songwriting? Why don't I, start maybe teaching people how to sing like I do, or, just different things, because anything can make you money. So yeah, especially if you have
That
a
is true.
natural talent for it, right? Yeah. Modeling, one of my friends kind of just asked me to model for her one day, and I decided to join. It was the most fun thing ever, and I stuck to it.
Wow. And that's because I remember that you recently said that as a model, you just recently walked your first runway shows. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So I actually walked my first two runway shows last year. I walked into Creative Clothing Fashion Show, their Natural Rose Fashion Show last year. There's so much work that goes into it, and it's so hot back there in the dressing room, quick changes. It's so fun though, and it's so worth it. The second one that I did, it was actually a catwalk for a charity for breast cancer. And it was Maverick Legacy Foundation that put it on. It was really cool to be a part of that, and I got to walk for some really cool designers that I'd never heard of in both shows, but now I've made like long-term connections with them.
Well, I'm going to say that you're not the only model that's in this podcast.
Hey, well, tell me about it.
I actually modeled for there was like a local show for Michael Kors runway fashion show. I did it twice. So I did it like back in 2019 and 2021. And I still have my Michael Kors jacket, which I use for business casual wears.
Yes, I love that for you. That is so cool. Okay, okay, so you're a seasoned professional, so you'll have to give me some tips for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Now segueing into movies, like what is your background when it comes to the fascination of movies?
So my background kind of started with books. I'm such a big book nerd. I love reading. Um, and just like with songwriting, it takes me to a completely different world, and that's the same thing that movies do for me. I kind of just get lost into like someone else's life and story for a couple hours, an hour or a couple, and it's always so therapeutic. I like seeing what a protagonist would do. Like, I'm like, wait, they handled this just like I would handle it. I feel like
Mhm.
that, like, this character was written like for me, like this is me. So I really love that. And I also love how I can sometimes relate to the antagonist and, kind of be like, well, I understand why they did this. I really love magical realism. That's like a big thing for me. So if a movie has like super cool special effects, like like love emojis like flying over like lovebirds' heads, stuff like that, and they do that a lot in stuff like Jane the Virgin. I recently watched a film called like Water for Chocolate, and it has so much magical realism in it. I recommend it to everybody. But
Well,
yes.
I'm gonna say that Jane the Virgin is one of my favorite shows, and I know
It's
exactly
true.
what you mean when it comes to that. Honestly, it makes me feel like I'm also a part of that world where it's not just as a viewer, but it
Mhm.
also makes me feel like I'm submerged into there. Knowing all of that, is there like a movie that you happen to remember, like one of the first movies that you remembered? And it can include the
Yes.
magical realism with it.
Mhm. The first movie I remember, period, is actually Ice Age. It's the first movie I ever owned on DVD. So I was like 6 or 7. No, 6 or 7. Oh God. I was
Giving
like,
away your age now.
I have a 9-year-old sibling. Oh my gosh. But I was around that age, and my uncle he sent me that DVD from France, and it was for my birthday. And I fell in love with Ice Age. I fell in love with like a lot of those movies that are almost real world. Like the animation looks like it's set in the real world. That's definitely my earliest memory. Also Happy Feet, just because it's kind of in the same realm. Nemo and gosh, what's the other one? Shark Tale. I will rewatch that every single year. Those are my staples.
How about we play a quick round of one gotta go?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so out of the four movies that you just mentioned, you have to pick one to go. Which one is
Oh
it
my
gonna be?
gosh. Okay. Only because it has a sequel that I don't really care for. I will say Ice Age. Unfortunately, yes. I really love it, but um, there are so many movies. They have so many movies in that franchise, and I love all the stories. But I'll have to say Ice Age, because a Shark Tale is so funny. I couldn't imagine it not being one of my top three. Happy Feet. Literally, I sing all the songs from it every single day. So I could not cut that one out either.
We'll see how the people will feel about it. So now that we've got that off, without further ado, go ahead and share with us your off-script story.
Yes. Okay, so my off-script story. Well, okay.
What?
So, um, funny thing, I've only ever dressed up for Halloween twice in my life, ever. And that is just like the upbringing of like I'm a PK. Yes. Um,
Okay, gotcha.
so this past Halloween, I decided to dress up as one of my favorite characters, um, Aisha from Winx. And I'd
Oh,
been wanting to do this costume forever. I put so much thought into it. I got all like I didn't want to like DIY it or anything. I wanted to get all the exact pieces because the costume I was getting was from one of their transformations. So
uh,
I got the outfit. I got the size. I got it in my size or what I thought was my size, I guess. And I was actually wearing it for a performance. So I got it and then I tried it on and it was not the right fit. So I kind of just had to wear it because it was too late to return it. And I got it days before my performance. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's just my own version. So it had really large comical wings and I'm at this event that I'm about to perform at and I'm walking through people and I'm just like, so sorry. So sorry. And also on Halloween night, I wore it out and it was just like slapping people downtown Dallas. So that I would say it was kind of a fail just because it was so hilarious that I just kept on hitting people and there's really nothing I could do about it.
when it comes to Halloween, you do see plenty of wings, plenty of angels, plenty of
Yeah.
all that, but just done in very creative ways. I'll say that.
Yes.
What are you binge watching right now?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just finished it, but I was just binge watching Interview with the Vampire. I kid you not, I finished both seasons in like a day and a half. It was that
Wow.
good. It was so, so good. There's that, and then I keep on going like from whatever quick like series there are to Once Upon a Time because I never really gave it the time of day when it was a huge thing. But I really like it. It's really good.
I was about to say, Once Upon a Time. Wow, I haven't. It's been a hot minute since I last saw that show.
Yeah, yeah.
You okay? So you finished binging Interview with the Vampire, and
Yes.
I know that we got a lot more new shows coming up. So,
Mhm,
is
mhm.
there like anything else that's on your radar?
Oh, oh my gosh. I don't even know that I know any movies that are coming out this year.
Oh my dude, no! We have so many movies coming
Okay,
out.
tell me of some
We
of them
have
because I may have forgotten.
okay. I'll remind you. We
Yeah.
have Avengers: Doomsday coming up this December.
Yes. Okay.
We also
Mm.
have Dune. Dune is also coming out that same
Yes.
weekend.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh, it's gonna be like a whole double feature thing.
Yeah,
So like,
it's called
yes.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. I like that, like Barbieheimer. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have another social media phenomenon on our hands, and I honestly cannot wait. Which I will be
Yes, we
watching
are.
both movies that exact weekend.
As you should, as you should. Okay, okay, I'll be looking out for those. I used to be a bigger Avenger fan during COVID. I mean, mainly because I had all the time, but I started
Yeah.
a thread and I kept up with everything in chronological order because that's just how my brain works. But I haven't kept up in a really long time, so that will be exciting. Maybe I should pick that back up.
Yes, and we also have Scream 7 coming out in next month.
That's true. Scream is coming out. See, I'm not I'm not a scary movie person,
Oh my,
unfortunately. I
do
know.
not do this to me.
I'm the person in the theater, unfortunately, that's like, "Is it done yet? Is it done yet?" That's me. I have a queasy stomach, unfortunately.
Oh, that is crazy. 'Cause trust me, we're gonna have some very big films coming out this year. With the most, I will tell you right now, the most anticipated movie that I am
Yes.
looking forward to this year,
Mhm.
The Odyssey.
Okay, okay. The Odyssey?
That yes. Do you know the book?
I know the book, yes. I did not
Okay.
know that it was getting an adaptation. That's so
Well,
cool.
Christopher Nolan already finished it and he
Yeah.
directed it. It's
I love
starring.
Christopher Nolan.
Well, why do you think my name is Christopher not Nolan?
I know. I clocked it from the beginning.
Well, I'm glad you did that because low key, some people may not get to figure that out yet. But it stars Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland. Matt Damon plays
Ooh.
Odysseus.
Mm.
Anne Hathaway plays
Mm.
Penelope. Tom Holland plays his son, and then you got many other people that are
Okay,
involved. You have
okay.
Lupita Nyong'o. You
I'm
got
hearing some names I love.
you got Zendaya.
Yes. Okay, I
And
feel like I have seen this actually.
I would hope so. Charlize Theron is in it. Robert
Mhm.
Pattinson is in it. John
Yes.
Bernthal is also
Yes.
in it, and there are some many more high profile names that are on it. And so
So
I I literally bought the book recently just so
mhm.
that way I could reread it before
You
the
could be
movie comes out.
refreshed. I see. Yes.
I am just oof, I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. It's
Awesome.
like I when I saw the trailer, because the trailer came out right before Avatar: Fire and Ash, so I got
Mhm.
lucky. I
Yes.
almost cried because
Oh,
it looks like a modern masterpiece.
okay. I've gotta watch the trailers for all of these for sure.
Before that we end the segment, I am gonna wrap it up with the final question, which
Yeah.
is what
Yes.
is a movie that helped shape the person that you are today?
Okay. That is an easy answer. A Walk to Remember. That
Okay, wow. For some people, that is not an easy question.
I have a couple, but I would say that that one definitely shaped who I am today a lot. It's a movie that I go back to every single year. I have to watch it a lot. I'm such like a sucker for love and like haters to lovers, trope. As most of us are. But I really love the growth in that movie, how they went from literally being strangers in completely different worlds and like high school hierarchy. And they kind of overlooked all of that. He let go of his pride and his ego to get to know this girl that everyone thinks is a loser, and he sees a special parts in her. She brought out a lot of just great, beautiful, empathetic parts of him. Cause just it's just a beautiful story of young love. I kind of watch it when I want to feel something or I want to feel like myself again. So yeah, it definitely shaped who I am because it keeps that feeling of like true real romance being a thing. I know nowadays a lot of people are like love isn't real, love is dead. We spent a lot of time together, quality time that is not over the top, and in those moments that's when like true love and friendship are built. Yeah, that movie inspires me every single year, and it hasn't failed me. um Honorable mention though, Eat Pray Love.
Mm, not Eat, Pray,
Yes.
Love.
I'm sorry, I'm one of those people.
No, no, no. It's just because, like, I mean, who can hate Julia Roberts? Honestly,
Who can? She's like, oh, she's one of my favorite actresses ever. But her performance in Eat, Pray, Love, like, someone gave me that book when I was maybe 11 or 12. Like, why were they giving that to an 11 or 12-year-old? I don't know. But after reading it and then after watching the film, I will say that movie built the traveler in me. It built the adventurer in me, like the person that seeks out other cultures.
I can definitely understand. I can definitely understand that because that
Yes.
movie was. I'm a traveler myself, so that is
Mhm.
definitely one of the movies that does enable the adventurist within the
Yes.
person. But then
Yes.
going back to A Walk to Remember, everything
Mhm.
that you said about it, I've seen it countless times.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like, because looking back at it, where Mandy Moore was only 16 years old when she did that film,
Yes. She was so incredible.
when I was a kid, I just remember looking at, I was like, oh, well, she's in high school. And then like, oh,
No.
wait, she was actually in high school when she was
Yes.
filming this because everyone else was
Mhm.
older than her. I was like, whoa, she definitely was incredible and
Mhm.
definitely should have gotten more flowers given to her for, like you said, an
Yes.
incredible performance. And A
Mhm.
Walk to Remember is definitely one that people must watch, especially when
Yes.
it comes to love and romance, not having to go through all of these gestures of the social media's ways of communicating to one another. That
Mhm.
is the part that is not exactly dying, but it
Yeah.
is giving a mirage of what
Mhm.
love is supposed to be like. But no, this is what
Yes.
love actually is. It is Walk to
Exactly.
Remember. It is The Notebook. It is like When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
It is all of these rom-com or just romantic movies that
Yes.
it's all about these two people who are face to face and go through their own journeys, their own lives. They somehow come together, but the thing is, they come together, not
They come
on the phone,
together.
not on
Yes.
the computer, not on
Yeah.
email. The strongest thing about that is a signal from our cell phones,
Exactly.
not the
Uh,
signal from when you're face to face, when you're sitting
mhm.
across the dinner table, engaging with each other's eyes, invested in each other's energy and
Mhm.
aura, and
Yeah.
that explains it for itself, and it just takes off from there.
Exactly. This year, I want to challenge people to walk up to people actually and ask them out. I don't like to think that, "Oh my god, I missed out on my person," but sometimes, like, you never know if that person would be super interested and if you guys would have had, like, such a beautiful life together if you just made the move rather than, like, waited to maybe find them on Instagram perhaps 5 years later. Like, it's like
Yeah.
that just takes, like, all the romance out of it. I'll say from a girl's perspective, we want
Mhm.
people to walk up to us, like, not in a weird way, of course. I've hear from a lot of guys these days, and they're like, "I don't know, I'm just too scared to walk up because it could be taken the wrong way." Rejection therapy. Just even if they say no, at least you tried. And, out of like, you could get like 9 no's and 1 yes, and then that person, and you could have a beautiful relationship together, but you never know if you don't try.
Y'all heard it from Madu. Go up to the
Yes.
person, be respectful though,
You're
and then that way you just never know what's gonna happen.
yeah.
So that is the end for the off script stories. So Madhu, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to say to our watchers and our viewers?
Yeah, so all I want to say this year is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to go to things alone. Go to a museum alone, go to the movies alone, buy an extra concert ticket for a friend, go to a concert alone. Just do things that you never thought that you would be doing by yourself or with others. Join random groups because the beauty of life is in shared experiences, but it's also in experiencing things for yourself firsthand in person. You could be in any field, but you you don't really get inspiration or creativity if you don't put yourself out there and if you don't go do things. um I never thought that I would be speaking on a movie podcast, but look at me.
And now the fact that you're advocating for people to go to the movie theaters, that is important
Yes, go to
because
movie
now that
theaters, please.
because now that Netflix bought Warner Brothers, people are afraid that a lot of movies are going to be streaming instead of going to
Yeah.
the movie theaters. And that is also the movie theaters is another magical place to seek adventure and to put yourself
Mhm.
out there and to go
Mhm.
on a date. If you ask the
Yes.
person and they say yes, you can go on a movie date.
Exactly, and you can watch Dune.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And many other films this year that are gonna be
Yes.
some of the favorites, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you so much for appearing on the podcast. You
Thank you
are a
so much for
phenomenal
having me,
guest.
James. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
No, of course, not a problem. Hopefully you can return and then that way we can see some fresh insight on the latest movies that you've seen.
Absolutely. Yes, I'll make sure to watch everything you recommended for sure. And you guys please watch like Water for Chocolate and watch Interview with the Vampire, the series. It's so good.
And also a walk to remember.
Yes, and A Walk to Remember, please.
Okay, and that is a wrap. So y'all, that
Yeah.
is Off Script Stories.
Mwah. Bye.
And that's a wrap. Cinema doesn't stop when the light comes on. It follows us home, starts conversations, and occasionally makes us question our life choices. Thank you for sharing your time with me and for loving movies the way that they deserve to be loved, as time capsules of the human experience, frame by frame, including the messy third act. Here's the question for y'all to ponder around. If aliens wanted to know more about humanity, what movie would you show them that best reflects our society? Think about that and share your thoughts. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and I'll see y'all at the movies.